Welcome to the show, The Jason Show. That is my show, and I hope you enjoy everything I do because I care about everybody out there. So let me tell you something special about me. I am the host. This is The Jason Show, and we have a special guest tonight. His name is Grantham Taylor Hughes. He's come all the way from London, but he's an American. And in fact, he's a doctor and PhD in common law, with many sciences, wonders of loves of lives, and all greatest things of creations of the world. So let me no further ado and introduce you our special guest, Mr. Grantham Taylor Hughes.
Hello there, Jason. Thank you for having me on the show. I appreciate that. And tonight we're going to talk about making people rich. I'm sure that people really like that idea. It's really easy to do. All the rich people in the world have actually done some kind of focus with their eyes. You know, those things that are the gooey things in your head, those circular things inside of your head, right? Called the eyes. So somebody, when you've gotten and been successful, you've done a focus on attention in front of you, and people do it mostly unconsciously. But I'm going to teach people how to do it consciously. There's an instrument that in the Far East.
And you discussed, Mr. Dr. Hughes, that you were going to make people rich from the last episode. That's where we left off, and
Yes,
that's where we're going to begin now. So here we are, Dr. Hughes. How are you going to make people rich?
All right. So as I was saying, that I'm going to talk about an instrument of wealth, and it's called the Sri Yantra. Okay. Now the Sri Yantra really isn't a cultural thing or a Hindu thing at all, but the Hindu teaching has taken it up as a logo of their teaching. But it really is about geometric progression, and it really has to do with a wealth focus. Like I was saying a moment ago, that rich people have used their eyes to, focusing on a mandala. It's a mandala. Mandala work means that what you've done is that there is a logo in front of you physically. And what you've done is you put your attention on this logo. It's called a mandala work. And when you focus your eyes, we have to understand the eyes, you create your world with the eyes. And that's why wealthy people have either unconsciously or consciously have used their eyes to bring everything to you. Now, Rhonda Byrne, in the book called The Secret many years ago, she was talking about the law of attraction. But the law of attraction is a misinterpretation of her mentor. Her mentor was Wallace Wattles, who wrote the book The Science of Getting Rich. Now, she mentions in her epilogue of the book The Secret that Wallace Wattles is her mentor. Okay, now you got to appreciate the fact, ironically, she misinterpreted Wallace Wattles, because in chapter 14 of the book The Science of Getting Rich, he was talking about the name of the title.
Now, did Wallace Wattles,
Yes, sir.
now he creates the wondrous looks of in the eyes, it creates wealth and beyond any dreams you have. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct. In other words, we are using to focus the attention upon the mandala. Okay, now what he was talking about in the book, he was talking about in chapter 14, the title of the chapter is The Impression of Increase. And he was saying that using visualization, they call it storyboarding or vision boards or what have you, you see pictures and you put them affirmations. There's a practice called neuro-linguistic programming many years ago that they're called affirmations. You repeat a vision that you have. But the visualization thing works, but you have to maintain it. And so what Wallace Wattles was talking about, to maintain your empire, you have to be expressing increase, thinking increase out to the world, because everybody wants more, they want to have more things. But the addition to that is the yantra work, the mandala work, to actually physically focus your eyes. You got to use your physical eyes to create what you want, because you're already creating your world that you're in right now by the virtue of your eyesight. When you look around, you're actually creating your world. You see what I mean? So a lot of people are not aware of the fact that they are the creators. So I was taught by some lamas in India years ago about the idea of creating with your eyesight, you see.
You mean lama as in the animal?
I know lama as in a teaching of the lama. They're teachers of esoteric work, spiritual work, and they taught me what I'm talk about today. But I don't really talk about esoteric work. I'm trying to teach people about exoteric work, which is your eyes open. The eyes open factor of if you want to be wealthy, then you listen to what I'm saying here, because you only have to take 9 minutes a day to become extremely wealthy by utilizing your eyesight. You see what I mean? So I'm always saying, would you rather work 10 hours a day or 8 hours a day, or would you rather work 9 minutes a day?
Now, there is a ancient science called the Sri Yantra. Now, is this has anything to do with that? The focusing of the eyes, the
Yes,
Sri
it does, but
Yantra?
it's not the Sri Yantra is really a wealth instrument. It has nothing to do with spiritual enlightenment. It has to do with physical wherewithal of creating an empire. You understand? So, in other words, there's misinformation about the Sri Yantras. So, I have, after learning about this from my teachers in the East, I realized that the rich people have done some kind of mandala work in history. Somewhere along the line, to create your empire, there's been a focus of their attention, your eye attention. You see, it's a physical occurrence, a practice, a discipline by utilizing your eyes. And the entity, the resident entity, is doing 9 minutes of practice every day brings people in an empire. You see what I mean?
And Dr. Hughes, I'm going to show them exactly what you're talking about in terms of the Sri Yantra that we have here. And here it is, and this is the portrait of that, as what we're trying to show people. This is what you need to focus on in the middle of the eye, right there. You focus that for 9 minutes a day, and it will create your wealth. But you must do it every day. If you miss, then you must start over. It is a 9-minute discipline practice.
That's correct. That's
creates
correct.
wealth beyond your dreams.
Exactly.
And Dr. Hughes is now explaining that to you as we continue.
I appreciate it. Thank you for showing that. It's really important that we do that. It's important that we show that the Sri Yantra is what it's called a wealth instrument. It really brings everything to you. And there's plenty of space. There's plenty of everything for people. In the book, The Science of Getting Rich, he was talking about in the Impression of Increase chapter that people want more things. They want everything. They want, but there's plenty of space. And he was talking about no competition. You don't have to compete with anybody because there's plenty of space. We also talk on this show about the advancement of the idea of the cosmos, that we really have plenty of space for everybody. And you're saying, well, we have the Earth, we only have a certain amount of landmass. But see, we got to get into the cosmos and talk about that in terms of the idea of it spirals up to the sun. You see what I mean? That's a Platonic paradigm of 340 BCE. Plato was talking about the spindle of necessity. You see, so we don't have to compete with people. We can applaud people for their empire creation. There's plenty of space. It's unlimited space. So we have to understand that when we talk about gaining a bunch of riches and you're going to create an empire, you can do this because it's easy to do. So once you do it, then you'll be able to sort it out. You don't have to be concerned about thinking about it a whole lot. When you do a 9-minute practice and everything comes to you.
Sort of like a magnet of sorts.
That's right. Well said. Thank you. It is it's magnifying. It's magic too. It would be magical, but you have to understand. Everybody has to understand the world that you're in right now. You've created. You see what I mean? But traditionally, people don't understand that. That's why we have a world, international labor force. The international labor force is set up because people don't understand the empire building. You see what I mean? They've lost their way.
Do you believe Elon Musk understands this particular?
These people don't know anything. I mean, all these pseudo leaders, they're sellouts. You know, they're selling something. I'm not selling anything. I do everything for free. I don't charge you money. I don't get donations. I don't get contributions. I give information for free, folks. I'm not selling you anything. I'm giving you something. I'm giving you the secret. I'm giving you the way to create riches. And because we're going viral is what we do here. That's how we make our money. Advertising money will come to us. It's not directly gouging the public. I don't do that. I don't charge programs. They have all these motivators that charge god-awful amounts of money to sell the secret. I don't sell the secret. I give it to you, and then you create your own empire. And that's what I do. You see, I'm not selling the secret. I'm practicing the secret and helping you guys to practice it too as we speak. So In other words, the law of attraction is based upon in the impression of increase in chapter 14 of Science of Getting Rich. He's talking about to increase, and not attraction. He doesn't. Wallace Wattles in his book never uses the word attraction.
When you talk about the meaning of increase,
yes, sir.
What do you mean by increase?
To increase is an action verb. Attraction is a noun. The world that you're in right now is a mirror of you. You've created this world. If you put the word attraction into your world, it's nothing. There's no activity there. If I say increase, I get increase right away. You see, that's what he was trying to say. If you think the word increase will come to you. Then things are attracted to you. You see, that was what Wallace Wattles was talking about. Now, to emphasize that, when you do the increase and then you focus on the yantra with increase, then that comes that much quicker. That's why it only takes 9 minutes a day, because it's harmonically resonant in terms of mathematically precise. And the 9 minutes has been used by very wealthy people who won't.
And how can one increase, Dr. Hughes?
The increase by doing the practice. If you do your yantra work every day, everything will come to you in a short time. It depends on the power of the individual, the timing of it, you see. And people say, if you don't believe it, it still works, because you're doing a practice. If you're doing something, you can't help but something comes back to you. Nothing comes back to you void when you do something. There's a cause and effect. There's an equal and opposite reaction. They call it karma in the East. When you do something, it comes back to you. And then when you do something in a wealth instrument, it comes back to you in what? Wealth. You see what I mean? So no practice comes back to you void. It means that even if you don't believe it and you do the practice, it's going to come to you. You got to appreciate that. There's
sort of a karmic alliance.
That's right. It's like a karmic alliance. Well said. I appreciate that, sir. Jason's a very bright man. We've talked off stage before, and he's a really genius, and I appreciate your interaction today. I really appreciate that, Jason. So, at the same time, yes, it's a magical occurrence by aligning with a cause and effect. When you line up your cause and effect, everything comes to you, because everybody wants more of everything. You see, we want more love, we want more wealth, we want more toys, we want beauty, we want artwork, we want houses, we want cars, but people get nervous about it because they don't know if there's enough space. They get into competition with things. So you got to forget about competition, realize there's plenty of space for everybody, and applaud other people that do really well. Don't be jealous of somebody's riches, because even in the Science of Getting Rich, he was doing an affirmation that has 4 verbs. It's I can succeed. All that is possible to anyone is possible to me. I am successful. I do succeed, for I am full of the power of success. That's an affirmation that's used in the Science of Getting Rich. It has 6 verbs. I am, do, am, is, am, do, am. Okay, so you have 6 verbs in there that you, if you think of the 6 verbs, you won't forget that affirmation. So affirmations are like mantras, and you can use that after you do the 9-minute viewing. You should not try to think about anything. The yantra is really, it's called 9-minute viewing. Okay, now you're going to be thinking about things when you do the yantra. That's okay, but you want to try to maintain your attention on the bindu in the middle. The bindu is another word for spirit, but the word bindu is just a designation for the yantra, the center of the yantra.
The portal through the universe.
Well, it's really a portal to your wealth. It's really a mirror. You're looking at your own self, and it knows what you want. I mean, everybody wants everything. When the dust clears, everybody wants more of everything, and you don't have to be apprehensive and slow everything down. Just know that you can get everything, and have plenty of space to get whatever you want. That's the beauty of this whole thing. And people that are extremely wealthy, everybody can be extremely wealthy. You see, everybody can. They're not going to. Remember I talked about marginal efficiency of capital? When I talk to people right now, they get real excited right now because we get about 90% click rate positivity. But that's going to level out to about 70-30. We'll get 70% of the people love what we're doing, 30% are going to negate the whole thing. You see, that's called the marginal efficiency of capital that John Maynard Keynes in the 1930s.
Well, Mr. Hughes,
yes, sir?
we understand
Dr.
that
Hughes,
finances is a very important thing, but can also create love, happiness, and relationships for others.
Yeah, lots of riches will do that. You understand? Money's everything. Money's the god of this universe right now.
Well, many people probably would disagree with you.
They disagree with that because they don't have it. You see what I mean? But when you have it, then you got to appreciate the fact that when you're happy and healthy and stuff, love finds you. You see what I mean? If you have plenty of everything, then you bet you're going to have relationships, all sorts of things when you have everything. You see what I mean? It makes it easier that way. So why not have as much money as you want? Unlimited amounts of money will come to you because the yantra knows exactly what you want. You want more of everything, and it will come to you. It's magical.
Does it bring money or does it bring happiness?
Everything. Brings everything. You see, because the yantra is a mirror of you. You look in the mirror, and the mirror knows what you want. It knows everything about you. See, so the Sri Yantra is a geometric mirror. It's just you in a geometry.
So it's whatever you want it to be.
That's right. It's whatever you want. It will bring anything you want, but you got to spend the time with it. You have to do the discipline. You can't just sit back and think, "Oh, I woe is me. I don't have anything." Well, the yantra is a wealth instrument. It's an instrument. You got to utilize the instrument. You utilize that mirror, and everything will come to you.
Like playing a piano of sorts,
that's right.
Folks.
Practice. It's practice makes perfect. You see, and like I said, for some people that are very powerful. It'll come really fast to them. Other people might take years to do it. But then the thing is, on the way, there's little things that will support and reinforce the fact that it's working. You see, because like I said, any practice doesn't come back to you void. Anything you do it's a perfect law of cause and effect. Anything you do is going to come back to you. The law of cause and effect is for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. It's the third law of thermodynamics. You see what I mean? So these are laws. You can deny things and you can still do it and it still works. I mean, people that say they do yantra and people that condemn it, and when it starts working, they stop condemning it. You see, when things happen in people's lives, that reinforces the truth in this matter. So I'm about truth. We're about truth on this call, and on this podcast. I'm going to bring out truths that's going to blow everybody away and take the world by storm, and that's great. That's what we're about, you see. And I'm not selling you guys anything. I'm giving this away. I'm giving you guys the truth, and it's exciting, don't you think, Jason? I mean, it's good stuff, right? We have the best stuff in the world. It's a synthesis. I'm synthesizing everything, and it's okay because people want that. They want answers.
And what about the cosmos? What do you feel that it creates beyond this world? There is a cosmos that is eternal life beyond this life.
Well, yeah, there's like an esoteric world, but I don't deal with the esoteric side. I'm trying to work with the exoteric side. I want to make everyone rich, and then we can talk about maybe I'll send them to my lamas in India.
Because people like this world to a degree, but then what happens is once this world is over, people want to know what happens afterwards as well. Do we end up as a sort of extraterrestrial being wandering the earth like a ghost, per se, haunting someone's house and making lots of noises, throwing rocks when we're least expected, scaring the daylights, or I would say the living shit out of somebody. But,
well, I don't use profanity, but that's your business. That's your show. So.
But what I'm trying to get to, sir, is what happens after this life?
Well, like I said, I don't really deal with the esoteric part of that. You're going to have to go to some spiritual guru. I don't really am involved with that. But I believe in an afterlife. I'm a theist. I believe in God. But then I just leave it there. You know, I think that there is some level of work in that arena. And there's many teachings about that. But right now, I think people really want to have wherewithal. I mean, a lot of people are struggling. They don't need to struggle. All you have to do is work 9 minutes a day. Quit your job and do 9 minutes a day, and you'll see how everything will come to you. See, you have to appreciate that there is an answer to life.
But it is a discipline,
Yes,
and
that's
is
correct.
and it will not work unless you do the discipline
That's
every
right.
day. Correct?
That's right. It won't work unless you do something. It's the same
A
idea.
9-minute discipline of constant staring into that bindu that I showed previously in the video
That's correct.
of that diagram.
That's right.
People can find this diagram where? On the internet, sir?
Yes, you can find the Sri Yantra on the internet, but make sure it has a little circle in the middle. They call it the bindu. Some of them don't. They have a triangle in the middle and they're blank. Okay, so if you're looking at a Sri Yantra, make sure it has a little circle in the middle. You want to focus on the circle. I mean, that's called the bindu, and in Hindu language, it means spirit, but really it's just a focus on a circle that draws your attention. You put your eyes on it, and it draws everything to you. It's a centering of your physical eyes. And so you have to appreciate the world that you're in right now. Everybody creates the world that you're in right now. Wherever you are, you've created that through your eyes. See, so now we're teaching a conscious direction of utilizing the eyes in a conscious creation of the world that you're in. So when we utilize the eyes properly, you bring everything to you in a successful manner of creating an empire. Because what you're in now, if you don't like what you're in now, you can change it with the yantra. And then once you gain your empire, you want to still do the discipline every day.
Because the yantra is a instrument for what you want in life.
That's right, for everything. Everything in life. Even there's an element when they talk about enlightenment, but
people use beliefs, religion,
yes,
other instruments. Those are all instruments. They want to use this type of belief inside themselves that it could manifest or create a bindu. But the bindu, the yantra, as we say, is that same form,
yes,
but a much more powerful
that's
form.
right. Well said. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very powerful because since you're a creator with your eyes, you have two eyes, and when you focus and concentrate them on a center, that makes it even more powerful. You see what I mean? Because the power of an individual is a minimum, as the Tao Te Ching says in the East, of 10,000 suns of power. So you can appreciate how powerful human beings are and the indomitable spirit within.
Are there more than one sun?
Well, the sun that we have is a doorway to the fifth dimension. Okay? So I believe that. I was taught by my Lama teachers that the sun is a doorway and not a ball of fire. See, but that gets into, when you go past that, that's esoteric. Prior to the sun, we're dealing with a lot of different levels of awareness, and I will talk about that. But that's not esoteric at all, it's exoteric. So I deal with exoteric to get what you need to get, and if you want to do esoteric, you go to your spiritual gurus, your teachers, your priestcraft, whatever, and you don't need to come to me with that, because I'm going to teach you how to be rich in using the Sri Yantra. See, it's very important.
And that's all we have today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you would like to watch more, please send a comment and we'll give you more. And stay tuned, folks. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.